We have a very big exclusive on Republic TV right now. Ridhamanand Bharadwaj, Executive Editor, Legal Affairs, has spoken to Mehul Choksi's wife. For the first time since he went missing from Antigua, was arrested in Dominica, was taken away to a detention center. She hasn't spoken through this entire episode. She has broken her silence on Republic TV while speaking to Ridhamanand Bharadwaj. Here's that full conversation, and then Ridham is joining us live.
Welcoming on the exclusive reaction we are getting from Mehul Choksi's wife. Let's also speak to Priti Choksi to try and understand what her version of the state of events is. Mrs. Choksi, your husband apparently goes out on 23rd May evening for dinner. What exactly happened?
From what we don't really know everything, but from what we know is that he was going to pick up someone to go for dinner with, and at that point he was abducted, taken by that person luring him into a house, and these men came in, bundled him up and tied him up and took him away on a boat.
Yes, we've also heard that there was some mystery woman there, Mrs. Choksi. What was this woman there? What was this woman there? Have you known her? Have you filed a police complaint in this entire incident?
We filed a missing persons complaint when my husband didn't come home on the 23rd. So we searched for him first, and then at about 11:30 we filed a missing persons complaint. And this woman has been, I did not personally know her, but there were other people who did know her, and she had been coming to Antigua and Barbuda since, first time I believe that my husband met her was in August of last year. She took a house opposite, she and her friend took a house opposite our house, and she would join them for a walk in the evening. My husband, if he was walking, she would start walking and start conversation and such. And that she was there for a week. Then she was there again this year in April for a few days. And after that, she came back she was seen around the 18th of May. And I believe she contacted my husband on the thereabouts. And then they would go for a walk. Friday and Saturday, they went to a very public beach for a walk. And on Sunday, she was insisting on going to a very secluded place for a walk, which my husband was not at all keen. He was very tired that day. So he said he just wanted to go for dinner. And that's what we know.
Yes. Mrs. Choksi, we want to know, do you personally know Barbara Jabraki, who's alleged to have lured your husband into her house, from where there is the kidnapping angle that is coming?
No, I do not know her personally. I have never met her.
And Mrs. Choksi, have you ever seen her?
No, I have never seen her.
What can you tell us more about this mystery woman, how she disappeared? Is she no longer in Antigua?
I believe the authorities are looking into that, and they believe that she left the island very soon after this happened. And I believe the investigations are on, so I wouldn't really know more than that.
Is his Antiguan passport with you? Are his passports with him, or are they with you?
His passport is with me.
Okay, what happened when he apparently arrived in Dominica, according to you, Mrs. Choksi, on 25th of May?
From what I have heard, and that is that he was on that boat. He was on a boat, and the boat was, another boat pulled up to it at around 10:30 or so in Monday night, 24th night. and he was told to get into that boat. That was a smaller boat, so he was asked to jump into that boat. My husband, as you can see, is a little older gentleman. It's difficult for him, but they pushed him off and they made him jump into that smaller boat. He had been tortured heavily on the other boat, so he was in a lot of pain. But he was pushed onto that smaller boat, and that boat was taken to another beach where the police, the first boat, the small one he jumped into, was also seemed to be an official boat, a Coast Guard boat. And then he was met on the beach by other police personnel and taken into custody. He was told that you're being, from what I can understand, that you're being taken away because you have a red corner notice against you. And you are a criminal.
Mrs. Choksi, my last
He was
question.
taken to the police station, sorry.
Yes.
Yeah.
My last question then to you. The mystery woman has not been known. What about the car on which your husband drove that night for dinner?
Yes, what about it?
Well, it's interesting that the car was found at 7:30. The police were in that area. Isn't it surprising how the car would have got lost at that part of the evening? None of the surveillance
No,
cameras
yes.
at Jolly Harbour were able to get the car.
Let me just explain that the car was missing, and we were actually out hunting for the car till about 1 a.m. And then the police told us due to curfew, which is from 11 to 5 a.m., we should go back home and they would continue the search. So the police searched the area where they had all over Jolly Harbour and the beaches and everything. They were continuing their searches. The place where the car was found, there was nothing present. There was no car there at 3 a.m. And then at 7, someone passed by and saw the car, and they informed the police that this car is over here.
Yes.
The car was unlocked and everything, so yes. And it seems that none of the video cameras in Jolly Harbour, which are working.
Mrs. Choksi, my
The
last
security
question.
cameras.
Understandable.
Yes.
Mrs. Choksi, my last question. Where do you think your husband should now be? Do you think the deportation to India from Dominica should happen? Do you think he should be got back to Antigua where he'd be safe according to you? Or do you think he should continue to face the proceedings in Dominica itself?
I believe that he should come home to his family in Antigua. He has been taken, and he needs to be back home with us in the state. With us, that's where he needs to be. He was kidnapped.
Right.
He is the victim, Rhythm. He's the victim. Let's not lose sight of this.
Yes. All right, that's a version that's coming in, Mrs. Choksi, as we thank you for being with Republic TV. The larger questions in this case will definitely be solved by the authorities, as the Supreme Court of Dominica hearing is going to be there currently, and this is something we'll continue tracking. Thank you for being with Republic TV.